You've survived another week. Thank you for listening, downloading, and subscribing to the Black Man with a Gun Show. This week, we're dedicating it all to the hunters. This is the pro-gun variety show for the cool people in the gun community. My name is Reverend Ken Blanchard, and I talk to and about newsmakers, producers, and things that matter to you. I know what you're going through. I'm your friend and brother from another mother, known around the world as the Black Man with a Gun, and this is what cool sounds like. Welcome to the Black Man with a Gun Show. Pause with me now as John Wayne leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, welcome back to the show. If this is your first time, hey, glad to have you. This week, I want to recognize the hunters that listen to this show. You know, the media and sometimes other gun owners don't quite understand you, but I get it. I understand you. I grew up in the country. I got my core values in the rural South, and I've traveled all over the world. I know real people, good people, when I meet them. I remember once when we were sitting down right before Thanksgiving, and I had been at my grandmother's the whole weekend, and my parents were coming down to pick me up and bring me back. So grandma was fixing this big old meal, and there was a hunt club right down the street. Well, down the street. It's about probably 2 miles down the dirt road. They had a hunting club, like a lodge. And they came through her property with the dogs, and they brought my grandmother a big old chunk of venison. And she was preparing it, and man, the thing was smelling good. And she knew that my sisters were not too agreeable to country stuff. So she said, don't even say anything. Just sit there. I said, okay, Grandma, I'm not going to tell them what was on the plate. I know they're going to like it after they eat it. So everybody came down, and the plate, it was like a pre-Thanksgiving dinner. I was off the hook. All the food came from Grandma's garden. Everything she made was homemade. The venison was smoking, and it was smelling so good. So my stepdad came in, and one of the few times he was there, and he grew up in Fredericksburg, Virginia, so he was familiar with the whole good country food thing. He was looking pretty happy, so I thought it was going to be a good time this year anyway. And my sister was looking at the food and kind of like wondering whether she was going to try this stuff or not. I was like, yeah, Grandma was right. She knew my sisters were going to have their nose all turned up. And my little sister was making all kind of faces because she couldn't recognize what was the big dish, the main dish, you know. You saw the turkey there, but there was this other thing that was just there. So she asked her dad, what's that? And my dad said, it's what your mother calls me sometimes. And my little sister leaned over to me and whispered, don't eat that. It's a butthole. Well, hunting itself is practical. It's spiritual for some people, and a tradition that many that are involved in have a hard time explaining. And it's a chance to return to nature again. It's a chance to detach from the chaos we sometimes call civilization. That's what I want to talk about. The hunters I have grown up with were also farmers, respected members of the family, and also the most gentle people in our family. One of the reasons I started the virtual church I call Blanchard Chapel is because I've talked to hunters that are more connected to God than a lot of church people. Put up your air quotes. I've heard the stories of how meticulous they are to shed the smell of humanity to be part of nature, how they feed and care for the land, how they harvest and not kill. Hunters don't talk about killing like non-hunters do. You ever notice that? All that callous macho talk you might hear at the range with that tactical Tom or range Rambo, they don't say that stuff in the field. They talk more about responsibility, life, ethics, and taking care of the earth more than anybody else I know. That stuff kind of gets lost in the camo, the tree stands, and the size of the buck, duck, or turkey talk that we overhear. Charles Dickens said, there's a passion for hunting, something deeply implanted in the human breast. I believe that. You know, hunting statistically is up. In 2011, 13.7 million people, 6% of the U.S. population that were over the age of 16, went hunting. They spent big bucks too. $34.0 billion on trips, equipment, and licenses and other items in 2011. And the average hunter spent $2,400. Sportsmen and women pay the bills for all the land conservation and a lot of the tourist stuff in most states, and nobody gives them any credit for it. Like I said, participation in this whole hunting thing is up 3%. 13.7 million hunters that took to the field in 2011, 11.6 million hunted big game, 4.5 million hunted small game, 2.6 million hunted migratory birds, and 2.2 million other animals. This week, I'm going to talk to two hunter friends. One I just met online. He is the owner of DCCoverscent.com, Herschel Shroud, and DC stands for Deep Creek. And they have a Facebook page and a website. They're out of Alabama. And Kevin Paulson of huntinglife.com, friend and brother I met at the Black Hawk bloggers thing way back in the day. And it's going to add a little hunting conversation over the next couple of weeks. I want to add that to like a feature for this podcast. See, we all in this together. The hunters, the cowboy action shooters, the 3-gun shooters, the AR-15 lovers, the 1911, the Glock shooters, the open and carry concealed folks, the urban shooters that are fighting every day just to get the opportunity to own a gun. We're all in this together. Up until this point, Barbara Baird of Women's Outdoor News has been the only person who's kind of been my mainstay to the hunting world. Because I'm always asking her stuff. That lady hunts, man. She's the real deal. But I got quite a few hunters on my Twitter and Facebook pages, and I just want to dedicate this show to you. I'm blessed to call you friends. This show has been sponsored by CrossbreedHolsters.com, makers of some of the most comfortable carry wear that you can buy. CrossbreedHolsters.com. Also, check out my friends at ErgoGrips.net. They put together that awesome AR-15 that I have that shall be on the cover of the new Black Man with a Gun book when it comes out right before Christmas. Also, I got a new page on blackmanwithagun.com that's like my affiliate links. There's like about 3 or 4 things. There's a hotel site for the Palazzo, the Venetian, where the SHOT Show is going to be held. If you're going to make your reservations to go to that, please use my link. Help me out there. There's also a very good security company called SecuriNet that if you're a blogger, you need this thing. You do. I'm telling you, you need it. There's some evil dead out there that will hack your stuff. It's not expensive. One-time shot, boom. And you got this folks on your site for a year taking care of you, giving you reports and stuff. Check it out. The affiliate link on blackmanwithagun.com.
And now, our featured presentation.
Herschel Stroud, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so very much.
Man, you're a hunter, you entrepreneur. Tell me about you and your company.
Well, again, you just said I am Herschel Stroud. I am the co-founder of Deep Creek Cover Scent Company with my wife and my 2 sons, Joshua and Jordan. My wife's name is Kenyatta. She owns her own company, Earthstone Soap Company. She is the one who gave me the ability to be able to live my dream of being able to be an entrepreneur in this hunting industry. Her company oversees our company, Earthstone Enterprises, runs, controls Earthstone Soap Company and Deer Creek Cover Scent. And Deer Creek Cover Scent came about with just a need, just for my own personal self. Like anything else, you make products based on kind of what needs to be done. And it was just, I felt was a need for people whose everybody's skin type is just not the same. So my wife, being the chemist, was the one who whipped up the formula for what is our body wash and our hard bars and our cover scent products. We build an entire scent management system from hair, we have a hair and body. We have a hard bar where you can wash your hair and body. We have a shampoo conditioner. we have a product that no other company has, which is called our after shower body cover. And you use it after you've showered with either a hard bar and/or a body wash. You put it on your skin, and there are compounds and properties in this product that when you spray it on your hair and on your skin, it will not allow your skin to emit any odor. And it stays in what your skin breathes off is the scent that you chose. It can be, we make them from acorn to pine to scent, to cedar to dirt. We even have a boot treatment that is called smoke that smells like burnt woods. I mean, we do an amazing amount of products. We make attractants, we make minerals, we make just a ton of other products, man. I mean, and it's a good business to be in. We have fun. We live to be able to hunt, so we enjoy it. We stay in the woods and on our property quite a few months out of the year planning. You know, we're big into agriculture and timber management, so there's a lot of things that my company's doing. We're moving next season into creating a new class of products that will be a complete new niche for our hunting industry. We're moving into apparel. We're doing a lot of different things. We're doing a lot of work here in Birmingham, Alabama. So we're just trying to give people an alternative to what is on the market now. I believe a hunter or a female huntress should have an option to choose and not just be forced to buy what is on the market, because, you know, this hunting thing, it's our products, we don't build them to be a one-size-fit-all type industry. If you want to smell like cedar, we can make you smell like cedar. If you want to smell like, 2 feet of dirt, we can make you smell like dirt. If you choose to be invisible and have no scent at all, we can do that too. So that's kind of what we do. We like to give hunters a chance to choose what you want to smell like and choose your experience when you go into the woods and, trying to outsmart something that really is quite capable of thinking, and it knows when you're out there. So that's what Deer Creek does, man. We try to give people a chance to enjoy their hunt and spend more time out there without the fear of, do they think this deer has winded them, 50 yards back into the field that they never saw because it smelt you way back in the woods when you walked out there. So that's what Deer Creek is. It's a multifaceted company. We make quite a few products. We stand on the shoulders of people that have come before us, but we just build really, really great products, and they're all hand built. We don't have any manufacturing machines. We do them all. We build them by hand, we package them by hand, we label them by hand, and we deliver our products to our stores. We don't have a sales team. It is family and family only. We hunt with family members. We get it done. We get it done. We build superior products, and we're going to keep building superior products until, I don't know, I guess people just stop hunting, which I don't see them doing anytime soon. So I think we'll be around for a good long while.
Good stuff, man. So what are you getting ready for right now?
Well, right now we're already into deer season. Our closest neighbor, our sister state, Tennessee, and Georgia. Tennessee is already in their opening already. Alabama's opening season does not come in until October 14th. So me personally, I'm just getting ready to get into the woods, but we've been selling product to some of our partner stores here in Alabama since May and June of this year. So we're right now, as I speak to you, we just, like I said, my oldest son, our graphic designer, is designing labels for product that is literally getting ready to go to one of our other business partners in Northport, Big Daddy's Outdoors. They're going, and their product goes into the store this coming Monday. And then one of our other partner stores, Simmons Sporting Goods, they're going, they already have product on the shelf. So we're getting ready to fill their store up again as we get closer to bow season and getting ready to go into after bow season, which would be all rifle season. So we just continue to build and keep building and keep our store supplied and keep the product on the shelves to be there for hunters to be able to, like I said, again, choose what they want to smell like before they get into the woods. And so that's what we're doing. We're just filling orders. We still have some stores that we're bringing online, and we're continuing to keep innovating at the same time. That's a big key in our company. We like to continue to innovate. Whatever product we've done, we tear it apart and try to make it yet better again, even if it's in this season and or something for next season. I think we have 4 new products that will be on the market next year. We're testing some new products that go into the stores next year. This year, we'll be testing them from a clothing treatment to a new body product to some other apparel, clothing items and body wash products, breath hygiene products for next year. So that's where we're at now. We're just filling the stores, keeping them filled, and just really getting ready for the season here in Alabama so we can get outside and go play.
How long you been hunting, man? How'd you get into it?
Oh, I've been hunting for this will make my 8th year. I got into it from my older cousins, and they've been hunting collectively, all of them together, well over maybe 40, 45 years. And it really all started because I have 2 young boys, and we were in this age of video games, and a lot of the video games had people who portrayed images of just violence. So, I was trying to make a point to my oldest son about once you point a weapon at something and you squeeze off a round, you cannot hit reset. There are no redos and no retakes. When you take something's life, there are consequences behind it. So it really started that way. It really started as just me wanting to take him and show him what it's like that if you see, something and you decide if it lives or dies by your hand, that you are responsible for that, and what it's like to watch an animal pass on once you decided to send that round down range and harvest this animal. So that's how it started. My older cousins took me out. They took me out and introduced me to the sport and that they love, and they shared their wisdom and their insight into what makes a good outdoorsman, because anybody can grab a rifle and just go run out into the woods, but you want to be a good steward of the land and a good sportsman as well. So that's how I got started.
I like what you said about being a good steward of the land and how it made you feel, that whole connection. Talk about that for a hot second.
Well, the true story is you don't know what's going on your land until you put boots on the ground. So you have to be on your property. If you're fortunate enough, like we are, to have a couple hundred acres of property to go run around on, you learn a lot. The woods, the forests themselves are a classroom. We homeschool our 2 children, and that is an opportunity to be able to, you can teach botany classes. I mean, you can do, things from birds to different types of species of snakes and insects, because we have quite a few snakes on our property that are quite venomous, so you learn to, to treat the forest with respect, don't pollute it, don't trash it. We don't, but there are other hunters who do what is known as prescribed burns to be able to boost the nitrogen and pH, which is a chemistry class that you can have right there on your field. So you have, when I'm outside with my sons, or anybody is outside with their children, that is an opportunity to be able to teach agriculture and or science and chemistry all in one shot. Mathematics, because you have to know how much of nitrogen you want, how you want your pH to be raised, how many pounds of fertilizer, which one, would it be 10-10-10 or will it be 13-13-13? Which fertilizer do you need to be able to raise the pH in order to get the seed that you put in the ground to grow? Are you going to do it organically? Are you going to do it with what's known as chicken runoff or chicken poop? Are you going to do it with cow manure? Are you going to do it with nitrogen tablets? Or are you going to do it the old-fashioned way with fertilizer? But being outside and putting your hands on your dirt and learning to grow something, you can grow corn out there, you can grow soybeans, you can grow wild peas, you can grow brassicas. I mean, there's a ton of peanuts. You can grow fruit trees. There are a ton of things that you can grow on your property. So we try to, like I said, be good stewards of the land, not going and cutting timber down just for the sake of cutting timber. If we're going to make tree stands or ladder stands, we only use what are the best products to put into the tree, not to damage the tree. We don't put just anything into the soil, because our deer and turkeys, they have to eat that. Then you turn around and you eat the same things you fed it. So we are very cautious of what we put into the soil and how we treat, the mother land, because, she will produce for you if you treat her right. So it's kind of what we do. We spend a lot of time and a lot of thought and a lot of effort and energy and or money, because it is very expensive to do it, to just be good, like I said, to be good stewards of your land, because it's hunting land is a very precious resource here in any state. To get it and have it, you really take care of it. You should. If you want to be able to harvest and hold great animals, you have to put great time in on that land to be able to yield any fruit. Because if you don't plant great seeds, it's not going to bear anything for you. So you just have to take great care of it.
Man, good stuff, dude. How can we contact you? What your social media stuff, your links to your site, Facebook? Hook us up with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a Facebook page. Anybody can just go to Facebook and type in DC Cover Scent. They should be able to pull us up. We definitely have an DC Cover Scent page on Twitter, and we definitely have a website, www.dccoverscent.com, and DC Cover Scent is all one word. You can Google us. Somewhere in there you will find us, but we're working to beef up our Facebook page. I am not the best at the Facebook. That is one of my children like to do that, but I am big on Twitter. My wife is bigger on Facebook. I like Twitter a lot, but yeah, we have a Facebook page. We have a picture when we designed our website, other companies go with using their websites as just sales generators. And yeah, you can buy our product online, but as soon as you click onto a lot of the other competitors' websites, they're just right out the gate trying to tell you, okay, this is who this personality is, and this is who uses this product, and this is, we can buy. We went the opposite way. The way my oldest son, Joshua, took the picture of what you see on the on our website, and the picture has nothing on it. When you go to the Facebook, when you go to our website, it has, when it finally opens up, it is just a picture of the woods. And we use that as an opportunity to tell people we want to invite you into our world first. And then we want you to understand what we make. We have all our pro staffers on there. We have the products themselves. You can see it, a little bit of the story about ourselves. But when you go to, like I said, www.dccoverscent.com, the first thing you see our landing page is to welcome you to the woods. You actually can look and kind of see like when you would walk into the trail and walk into the woods. And we want to invite you into our world and see if you like what we love to do, and then decide if you want to purchase what we make. So they can catch up with us, like I said, Facebook, Twitter, and or our website. But I'm definitely a big Twitter person. You can find me on Twitter pretty much every day, pretty much maybe until 1 o'clock in the morning, depending on what I'm doing. But yes, we have a social presence, and we try to link to other people. I definitely use it as a way to communicate with other hunters. We send out a lot of free product. We give away a lot of free products. We're getting ready to do one now to get our Facebook side beefed up, that if they just go and like our Facebook page, we will drop ship you a bar, of one of our custom made soaps for you to be able to try, just to beef that side up. But yes, we definitely are out there in the web. If you look for us, the good book says, if you seek, you shall find us. So if you look for us, you'll find us.
Oh, man, good stuff, man. Thank you so much for being a guest. And I'm going to try to get you back on for some hunting tips, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, man. I love talking about hunting. It's like I said, it's what I do every day. It's what gets me up out of bed in the morning. It's what I share with my 3 other immediate family members, and then all of my extended family members that have brought me into the hunting game, and my extended family members outside of my family that hunt, that I talk to quite often. So yeah, please, anytime. I would be happy to. I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to help.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
See what I mean? Just the salt of the earth kind of guys. All the hunters I know like that. My man up in New York State, folks out in Missouri and New Mexico and Arizona and Texas, Alabama, all my hunter friends. Just sharing the love here at the Black Man with a Gun Show. Crossbreedholsters.com. Often imitated, never duplicated. Handcrafted in the USA. Home of the lifetime warranty and a try-it-free guarantee. Crossbreedholsters.com. Hey, I got a quick request for you. If you are not already following me on Twitter and you listen to the show, will you please do that? Hit that follow thing. I'm trying to make sure that all my friends are connected to me in all the ways that I give out my little bit of stuff. Thank you so much. Hey, lately I had, usually on Mondays, I put out a piece on bearingarms.com. It's not my website. It's just I've been asked to write for them, and I did a piece on why are black people so anti-gun, and the one before that was how to talk to your children about guns, how to talk to your spouse about guns, just spreading the wealth a little bit for everybody who don't know about your friend and your brother from another mother, just sharing it in love. And speaking of love, make sure you check out gunrightsmagazine.com and join us at freedomsnetwork.org. It's our little private social media site for all friends and family. Yeah, come on over. The water is fine. Hey, thinking about suicide? I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. If you need some help in the U.S., please call 1-800-273-8255. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. SuicidePreventionLifeline.org. 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone. All right, next up, my featured guest is Kevin Paulson. We go way back like a rocking chair, and the dude is the brains behind huntinglife.com. So please welcome my friend.
And now, our featured presentation.
Kevin Paulson, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Again, I appreciate it, and then it's been a long time since we've gotten to catch up.
Yeah, so tell me about Hunting Life, man. You guys are making some headroads in there. You're doing some good stuff.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Hunting Life, started 7 years ago when I stepped out of the outfitting business, and it has been a passion of mine to spread the message of the North American conservation model. And so we have built the site up to be a national news source for hunting conservation.
All right.
So that, the common hunter can find out what's going on in the hunting industry, what's going on in the conservation world on a daily basis, and, get the news that's out there. We do product reviews on a regular basis, and, hunting stories, and we have a pretty big community in our social media world that, we share hunting pictures and, support conservation groups, support kids getting out hunting, anything we can do to promote sport.
How long you been hunting?
I've been hunting, I think I did my first hunt when I was about 6 years old. My dad took my BB gun with me and took me out duck hunting, and he shot a duck, and I got to finish it off with the BB gun, and that was pretty much, I was hooked.
And you're like sharing that whole thing with your daughters too, right now?
Yeah, I've got a son and two daughters, and my oldest son and my daughter took a deer last year in Nebraska, and my youngest daughter has yet to hunt. She's just not ready yet.
Man, I want to hit on something that just touched on parenting and hunting. That's something nobody ever really talks about. But it's really connected.
Oh, absolutely. I think that the majority of kids, the majority of people who are hunting have had it passed down to them from somebody important in their life, whether it was a father, a grandfather, an uncle, or something along that line. And without parents getting out there and hunting, it's a pretty good odds that the kids aren't going to get that chance.
And what are you learning out there, or teaching to your kids?
What am I teaching to the kids?
Yeah. What does hunting bring to kids?
I think it teaches them self-resiliency. It teaches them that, first and foremost, that the food that they eat, comes from another animal, and that's something that's, needs to be respected, and I think it's something that needs to be taught on a regular basis. Hunting also teaches ethics, getting them to know that what they're doing out in the field matters. Hunting is the only sport in the world where, you police yourself when you're out there. If you're an ethical person, then you're going to be an ethical hunter. And so that teaches, kids that, first and foremost. It teaches them responsibility and how to, handle a firearm and how to take that out into the field. And it teaches them that, survival skills and woodsmanship, but mostly it teaches them an appreciation for the natural world that is around them. And I think that's very, very important. Kids just aren't seeing that today, spending so much time, focused on video games.
Appreciating life. You mentioned conservation too. What does that mean? Actually, I'm kind of trying to pull this stuff out of the air for me. What's conservation to what? Conserving what?
As far as conservation, it's the conservation of land first and foremost. I mean, that is our biggest issue in North America today is, finding land and protecting it so that we have a place to hunt and so that animals have a place to roam. And then, the other part of conservation is really taking that land and making sure that, it is taken care of and provided good stewardship so that when the animals are out there, basically it's natural and pristine and left the way it needs to be.
You said that you guys police yourself. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think hunters definitely police themselves on a regular basis. It's, when you're out there and when I go out hunting, I'm 4 or 5 miles from, the nearest road, and in certain circumstances, I'm the only person that's out there. So the only person that sees what I do on a daily basis when I go hunting is me. And so I have to, be able to make my own ethical choices and, do the right thing on a regular basis.
And that kind of gets lost today. I mean, just nobody talks about conserving anything, respecting anything, responsible for anything other than themselves. You hit some really big points, and that's like really cool to talk to kids about too. Aside from the cool part about weapons and firearms and safety and gear, there's some life lessons in there.
Oh, most definitely. And there's some great programs that are out there, teaching, kids on a regular basis. John Anani has a program called Camp Compass, and he has a program that I support called 2 Million Bullets.
Yeah, I saw that on your site. I didn't understand what that was.
Yeah, 2 Million Bullets is basically a program to get 2 million people to donate $1 back to the Camp Compass program. And the Camp Compass program is a program right outside of Philadelphia, and John Anani runs that program. And what he's doing is basically teaching hunting, shooting in the outdoors to youth that would never see that world.
Gotcha.
And so he's taking kids out of the inner city of Philadelphia and the Allentown area and taking them and showing them, what it's like to use a firearm, what it's like to go hunting. And a lot of kids are getting, taught basically that, hunting is a good thing, that the outdoors is a good thing. And versus, some of the alternatives that they get to see, in their society on a regular basis.
Yeah, if you want to mess somebody up, change their environment, take them out of the mess they're in and show them what's else happening in the world, and you'll never be the same again.
Oh, absolutely. And these kids are getting to see, they're getting to be saved out there.
Yeah.
They're getting taken out of sometimes out of a gang environment, sometimes out of a, bad family life environment. And they're getting shown that, A, somebody cares about them, first and foremost. But B, that there is an entirely different world out there and that anything is possible. And, seeing the reactions of some of these kids going on their first turkey hunt, or on their first deer hunt, and getting to realize that, they took care of that entire process, that they fed their family. Seeing the reactions on their faces, it's priceless.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I'm a big supporter of that program, and I wear an ordinary ribbon every day. It goes right on my hat. There's one on my truck, and anybody that talks to me about that program, I tell them, like, it's $1. Support it. 2 million people rose up and gave them $1. The work that they could do would be dramatic.
I hear you. How long has it been going on?
Camp Compass has been going on for almost 15 years, and the 2 Million Bullets campaign itself has been going on for about a year and a half.
Oh, okay. So aside from hunting life, what else do you do?
I personally do a lot of social media consulting, web consulting, and marketing consulting for companies, in this industry, basically. There's a lot of guys that, develop products out there in the hunting market that need to, understand how to get their product and their message basically out to the masses, and we help and assist in doing that.
Oh, good stuff. Favorite hunt? You rather deer or turkey, or it doesn't matter?
My favorite hunt is deer, first and foremost, of those two. Now, probably my most favorite hunt is antelope in Wyoming, or elk in Wyoming or Colorado or Montana.
Yeah, that just sounds exotic.
Yeah, they're just antelope are probably one of the most fun species to hunt in the world. If you fly out to Wyoming, there's like 4 million antelope in Wyoming. It's ridiculous how many there are. Way more antelope than there are people in the state of Wyoming. And it's a very open land. Mm-hmm. And, it pits you, out there using the wind and using what little topography you have to get close to that animal. And it's just an absolute hunt. It's an absolute blast. I think that if I had to do, if I could only do one more hunt, that'd probably be the one I would do. Elk are just, amazing animals to hunt, especially in the rut, mm-hmm. Because they're bugling and you get to call them in, and they're a massive animal. They're, 5, 6, 7, 800 pounds. Dang. And so, they're a tremendous amount of fun, but elk hunting is also a lot of work. Oh, yeah. You're climbing thousands of vertical feet every single day, trying to get above them, bugling to them, and then, running back down the hill to get close to them. Mm. So, it's a lot of work. And then, when you do get an elk on the ground, you have to pack that animal out. And usually, I'm 5, 6, 7 miles from the vehicle. Packing an elk out is, a 2-day affair.
Right.
So, it's a tremendous amount of work, and I love hunting them, but it is a lot of work.
Like dragging a motorcycle around.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. I've been able to go to Africa, and that was amazing. I was in Cameroon 2 years ago, mm-hmm. and I would definitely like the opportunity to go back there, and I probably will sometime in the next couple of years.
What were you hunting in Cameroon?
Cameroon, we were hunting savanna buffalo. We were in the savanna portion. Cameroon's basically divided into 2 sections. One section, the southern section of Cameroon, is basically complete jungle, mm-hmm. and the northern section of Cameroon is all savanna, which is high desert ground, and just as arid as could possibly be, and that's where we were hunting. I actually did not personally hunt when we were in Cameroon. I was filming. Okay. And I was the last several years I've been doing a lot of videography for other people's television shows. And so I was filming a hunter there, and we had an amazing time. The best we did not get to see elephant there, but I got to track an elephant for a mile, which I thought was very cool. And I got to see how the trackers worked. And my favorite species over there was western cob, which is kind of like an antelope or a gazelle, and just beautiful animals. And the other species that we got to see that I really, really liked over there was we got to see a really rare giraffe called the Rothschild's giraffe, which is not quite as tall as the giraffes in South Africa, but just, 12 feet or so, 13 feet. And their skin, instead of being an orange-brown, they were kind of a white-brown. So they were just really beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And incredibly rare. And those are not a species that anybody could hunt. But we got to see 5 of them, and I got to take some pictures, and they were just absolutely beautiful.
As a video dude, are you using like a DSLR or you got a big time video camera?
I shoot a Sony's Z7U, which is a production video camera. The reason I started shooting that particular camera was some of the guys from Deadliest Catch were using that camera, and I got to talk with them. And they said basically this is the camera we use and this is why. The reason I've played with the DSLR cameras quite a bit in the video capability of them. There are, for hunting, I really recommend the production level cameras at the current point. And the reason why is that I can capture things with low light that that my production level camera does a better job at. I think the DSLRs are coming a long way. With the DSLRs, in order to video professionally off the shoulder, or like where you're not using a tripod, the DSLRs are incredibly hard to maneuver. And you have to buy equipment basically to mount the camera on so that you can hold the camera steady. Gotcha. If you're just trying to hold a DSLR in your hand, it's really hard to work.
Good stuff, man. So you got Hunting Life, the 1 Million Bullets. You're a video guy. You're a social media guy. Give me a tip. And a parent.
Give you
What else is Kevin up to this week?
I'm headed back to Washington, D.C. this week for my 25th high school reunion, so I'm incredibly excited about that. And
where'd you go to school at?
I went to school at Robinson High School outside Fairfax, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up in that area. My dad was in the United States Forest Service, and we transferred there in the beginning of my freshman year, and I graduated high school right outside of Washington, D.C., and I love that area.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome home, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So
I spent 17 years in Washington, D.C., and doing litigation support for a company called Clicks, and I moved to Nebraska because I had said my whole life, kept saying, I'm going to move to Nebraska, I'm going to move to Nebraska, and I finally, when I left the litigation world, I picked up and moved here. So
you were an attorney or in law before?
No, I did litigation support for law firms, helping law firms make the right decisions in regards to, the massive amount of paper evidence that they had. So we did everything from litigation photocopying to document imaging to electronic data discovery.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. How can folks find you, man? Your URLs and all the contact stuff.
Sure. They can go to huntinglife.com first and foremost. That's our main website. And right there on huntinglife.com is our social media counter. And they can click on any of those social media buttons and find us with the Twitter. Our hashtag is, at huntinglife.com or at huntinglife. For Twitter, we have a Facebook fan page. They can search. It's facebook.com/huntinglife. We're on Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, Flickr. The main 3 sites that we focus on, is Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.
Okay, cool. Season for deer season is about to pop open. Are you already doing the bow season, or you wait till rifle?
This year, I'm waiting until rifle. Being a single dad with 3 kids at the current moment, that I just did not get the time to practice with a bow. And so I've made the choice that this year I'm not ready for bow season. So I'm going to be doing a lot of hunting with the rifle and also with the muzzleloader.
Kev, thanks,
and
man.
I'll be happy. No problem.
Man, you gave me some good stuff. I hope I didn't put you out by asking about the parent piece and the conservation.
No.
Because you gave me some good stuff, dude. I mean, it was just nobody said that before. I mean, it's obvious to you guys because you do it all the time, but some people need to hear it.
Oh, I think so. I mean, we could dedicate an entire segment to nothing but talking about, parents and kids and, getting them out hunting. We have a responsibility as parents to make a difference for our kids and to teach them about the world around them. So many kids today do, they think their meat comes from a package at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And it comes it comes pre-processed in a McDonald's chicken McNugget. And, it's sad when you talk to kids in schools that they don't understand where their meat comes from. And so I'm constantly thinking about that. And, my kids and I, we eat like 4 or 5 deer a year. Mm-hmm. We also, when we go out and purchase meat, we go to the farmer and we buy, I buy a pig from the farmer. And, that pig is processed and that fills the entire freezer. But they know that that's a pig that they're eating. When we eat chicken, they know that it's a chicken that we're eating.
Yeah.
And so, that teaches them, I think, that the world isn't just given to them in a, styrofoam package, that, they have to go out and earn that. And, it's kind of a process of teaching them the whole circle of life a little bit. Mm-hmm. And, trying to get them to understand that. In order for hunting to survive, I think that we as a society have to make a difference in, letting people know where their food comes from. Letting the people know that, there are farmers out there that have, worked and toiled in the fields in order to get their tomatoes or to get their broccoli or to get their meat produced for them.
Especially in the city, man. Folks just take for granted they can go downtown or walk down the street and go into the store and buy some stuff. They don't know somebody worked hard to get it to that point.
Yeah, no, you're right. They just have no idea. When I lived in Virginia, I was in Fredericksburg for years, and I hunted outside of off the Rappahannock River. Mm-hmm. And I worked on I hunted on a farm, and occasionally I went out there and worked and hung signs or did something. There was 100 workers out there on that farm year round, and they grew everything from broccoli to cauliflower to corn to tomatoes. That particular farmer owned right at 14,000 acres, going all the way from Florida all the way up into Pennsylvania and Rhode Island. And he owns, 1,000-acre tracts of land, basically, in each state, going all the way south into Florida. And he had an airplane, and he would fly between each location and, check on his farms and check on his crops. And he had, farm managers right there on the space. Well, we got to hunt that farm. And, our goal, we had 10 hunters in a hunt club. And, we would go out there and hunt on a regular basis for everything from, ducks and geese to deer and turkey. And, the deer and turkey as a whole, but even the geese all needed to be managed, because the geese could come in basically in one big flock and wipe out 5, 6, 7 acres of crops. And, that's how the farmer made his living, and that's how all of those, all of the workers on his farm made their living as well. And so when the geese came in and we were there as hunters, we're hunting them, and yes, we got to take some geese and, feed our own families, but along with that, we're protecting the crops in a lot of ways. When we were deer hunting, our goal was first and foremost for every hunter to take 2 does, so that we could help manage the population in that small area. Yes, we were always looking for the big buck, but, it was a responsibility of every hunter to take at least 2 does so that we could manage the population so that they wouldn't have some of the crop depredation that they would normally have.
Gotcha.
And I think that we all need to work together and find ways to do that. And for me, hunting helps me to do that in so many ways. It's just it's an incredible gift that I've had in my life, for 40-some years.
And the other day you was telling me about the national hunting lands and how the shutdown is affecting it. I wanted to just bring that back up because I wasn't even thinking that way.
Yeah, currently under the government shutdown, we're in a situation where, as these two sides squabble back and forth, we're right in the midst of hunting season. I mean, elk season's going on all over the West. Deer archery season is going on right now throughout many of the states. And about 60% of the animals that are taken in North America are taken on public lands. And right now, any of those federal public lands that are out there are shut down. And so what we're seeing is wildlife refuges and wildlife sanctuaries and stuff like that where traditionally duck hunting has been going on and things along that line. All of those areas are shut down. Access to Forest Service campgrounds where the majority of hunters camp and go into the woods to hunt on national forest lands are all shut down. We're starting to see some Forest Service road closures in areas that where hunters had traditionally hunted, and the Forest Service is closing those roads under direct orders to prevent hunters from being able to go into national forests, and that's a tremendous problem. This shutdown, and I don't want to get into the blame game of deciding who's right or who's wrong, but this shutdown is drastically affecting our ability to get into the woods, and if it lasts too much longer, there's going to be a tremendous amount of people, especially here in the West, that do not have or will not have access to public lands in order to hunt this fall, and in turn, that's going to hit them, mid-December, January, February, when they need that meat to feed their families.
Wow, man! Wasn't even thinking outside the nation's capital how this stuff affects everybody.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that on a regular basis, this is starting to affect everybody, and I know there's a couple of bays in Florida that have actually been shut down. They said no fishing boats. Nobody's allowed into that bay, and there's people on. I just read a story yesterday about an inn along the Appalachian Parkway. That the inn is owned by a gentleman, and but the land that it sits on is national park land, and he's not being allowed to open up his inn to people coming by. They've actually got armed guards sitting out there in this parking lot, preventing people from stopping and checking into the inn.
Dang.
It's a crazy situation that we're in right now. I just don't. In a million years, I just couldn't imagine that we'd be right where we are at this moment. I really think that this government shutdown doesn't need to be as hard as it is. First and foremost, I think that the representatives on both sides of the aisle need to come together and figure this out. But that being said, I can't even call my congressman right now to ask him questions about open public lands because this entire staff's been told to go home. So it's incredibly frustrating. Luckily I've called, local congressional offices and, gotten some messages through, but, I can't even call my congressman to say, hey, work this out right now because all I get is a switchboard.
Unbelievable. Well, you know me, I'm going to keep this whole thing in prayer and see what we can do.
Absolutely.
All right, dude, you have a good time in Virginia at your high school reunion, and I will check with you again Probably in a couple of weeks, man, as hunting season rolls on, and see what else you're doing.
Fantastic, man. You take care of you, and anything I can do for you, let me know.
Oh, will do, Kev. Thanks, buddy.
Awesome. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, if you were going to Vegas for the SHOT Show, let me know. Not quite sure what I'm going to do when I get there. It's going to be a monster for me because I'm going to the New Media Expo about 2 weeks prior. So trying to go to Vegas twice, it's definitely going to put a strain on the wallet. But I'm hoping something will break before then. I'm praying on it, actually. Keep hope alive. That's what the man said. I'm going to try to keep hope alive. Had a lot of good conversations with some really good people last couple of days and weeks. And I'm hoping that some of these lines I got in the water will actually come to fruition. I feel like a man with 20 lines in the water looking for jaws. I'm waiting to say I need a bigger boat. Right now, I just got nibbles, and I'm just sitting out here, all outstanding in my field. But you make it better having a friend like you. If it wasn't for you, I don't know what I'd do. Well, I know what I'd do. I wouldn't be on the air, that's for sure. But thank you. Thank you for your comments on the Facebook page. I changed the little logo, got a little icon guy, looks like Morpheus and me kind of mixed together. Thank you for your positive feedback on that. And I'm going to try to put that on a few more things. New Media Expo. If you are a blogger or a podcaster or a YouTuber, you got to go to this thing. I am now a speaker, if you didn't know. And there is a podcast awards going on, which they got a crazy way they do it. You nominate a person, and then you have to vote daily or something. It's crazy. It's supposed to be for, I guess, listener participation to show how rabid or not rabid your fans are. So I'm just happy to be nominated by you guys. So for the few of you guys who have done it, thank you so much. Don't know about it? I'll be a link to it on blackmanwiththegun.com. And here's a little advertisement in case you haven't heard what the New Media Expo is.
New Media Expo is coming back to Las Vegas.
January 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Rio Convention Center.
This event could be the greatest investment you make in your online efforts.
Don't miss this opportunity to network with the largest gathering of podcasters, bloggers, video, web, TV producers, and social media experts from around the world.
Thousands of content creators from more than 50 countries will be attending.
Connect with like-minded people and learn from the industry experts.
Visit nmxlive.com for more details now.
Well, looks like this show is going to go over just an hour, and hope that's not too bad for you guys. Thank you so much, and we're going to rock out at the end. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for rolling with a brother. If you want to contact me, my voicemail is 888-675-0202. My email is blackmanwiththegun@gmail.com. The show notes and all media links can be found on blackmanwiththegun.com. Check out the affiliates, the blog, and sign up on the contact list that I have there. If you like what you heard, please tell somebody. And until we meet again, shalom, baby. Texas sand, but my head's in Mississippi. I'm shuffling through the Texas sand, but my head's in Mississippi. The blues have got a hold of me. I believe I'm getting dizzy. Somebody help me. I can't thinking about that night in Memphis. Lord, I thought I was in heaven. I keep thinking about that night in Memphis. I thought I was in heaven. But I was stumbling through the parking lot of an invisible 7-Eleven. What in the world was I doing out there? Last night I saw a cowgirl. She was floating across the ceiling. Last night I saw a naked cowgirl. She was floating across the ceiling. She was mumbling to some howling wolf about some voodoo healing. Ah, baby, talk to me. Where's my head, baby? Somewhere in Mississippi. Yeah, my head. You're listening to the Black Man with a Gun Show. Until next week. Shalom, baby.